Back to the full fan highlight show. What an epic and historic night we have just witnessed. 9 goals from Bayern Munich, a hat-trick of penalties from Harry Kane, last-minute winners for Real Madrid, Liverpool coming from behind to beat AC Milan again, and the biggest result score margin-wise tonight, Man United, 7 goals past Barnsley. I'm over the moon. I am over the moon. Genuinely. Look, hit the like button. Make sure you are subscribing. Make sure you have the bell notifications turned on as well. That is important to us. So get all of that done. Of course, we're going to review your comments, your super chats, and everything. We've got a panel coming for you tonight as well, because what an explosive start to the Champions League. Aston Villa as well, by the way, with a brilliant performance earlier on this evening. It's actually quite nice not doing a match reaction to that. I just got to watch the game, didn't have to prep any graphics or think about what I was going to say. And again, look, they played young boys, not exactly the best team in Europe, not a massive acid test, but an excellent start by them as well. I'm going to start my match review, though, tonight. I'm going to move on to Liverpool a bit later. I'm going to start with Manchester United. We will be touching on Real Madrid and Bayern Munich later in the show as well. I think we have to when you look at tonight. But I want to start with Man United because, look, it was Barnsley, and that will be the reaction from a lot of people. But for me, Man United tonight were rampant. We were clinical. And some will say, why does this matter, Terry? And I'll tell you why, to us Man United fans, it does. 3-0 is the biggest score margin so far under Ten Hag for Manchester United. And that came against Leicester City in February 2023. It was a 3-0 victory in the Premier League. We've scored 4 goals twice, once against Villa in the EFL Cup when we won 4-2, and we scored 4 goals against Real Betis. So under this manager, we've got nowhere near 5, 6, let alone 7 goals. And we have played a lot of League One, Championship, League Two teams in cup football, and we haven't been able to put them to the sword. We haven't been able to kill the games off. We haven't been able to assert our dominance on the football match. So that has 110% been a problem for us. And it's been frustrating for United fans. We've played a number of these games in recent years. We'll dominate the ball. We'll have the chances. But you walk in winners 2-0 and you think, oh, we've won the game. I should be happy, but I feel a little bit flat and deflated. And tonight was the opposite to that. You felt that, yes, you're not up against stellar opposition, but we took our chances. We scored our goals. We played some nice football. And it just makes me happy. And United fans should be celebratory within that. Don't go over the top. I wouldn't have a party. Wouldn't go out and get drunk tonight or anything, but just be happy. Rashford picking up 2 goals, both very, very well taken from him. Garnacho had an excellent game. I think he got 4 or 5 GA tonight. And that's on the back of already having a good start to the season. I think that's 7 goals and assists in the opening 5 games so far for him this season. Bruno coming on and getting himself some assists and good creativity. Eriksen having a decent game. Ugarte's debut still looked a little bit leggy to me. He's got to get kind of up to pace and match fitness, but it was good to see him in the side. Rotated the back line as well. Gave Onana a rest. Really happy as a Man United fan with tonight. Again, not getting carried away in any capacity whatsoever. But listen, I'd much rather a 7-0 than a 1-0 or a 3-0 or even a 4-0. And I also think it's our biggest result since we put 6 goals past Roma in 2021. I think that might be. But it's definitely our biggest result in 4 or 5 years. And we have played some. We nearly got knocked out of cup competitions in the last 2 years by League One and League Two sides. Threw away leads. Trust me, I'm talking purely from a Man United fan perspective. Very, very happy with tonight indeed. Now in the Champions League, look, Liverpool, it was a horrendous start. I was listening to the commentators when Liverpool went 1-0 down in the opening 2 minutes. They looked a bit. They then maybe for 5-10 minutes were getting passed through. Milan were playing out from the back. And it looked as though it could be a long, long night for Liverpool. A really, really long night for Liverpool. But they were so much better than AC Milan. The gulf in class, the gulf in difference was night and day. Now, I haven't checked the stats since I saw them come on the screen at about 80 minutes. It was 19 shots to 2. 19 attempts on goal in your backyard. That is problems. I'm not surprised, by the way. There's a lot of Premier League flops in that team. When Loftus-Cheek, and by the way, remember, Don Luginal reckons that Loftus-Cheek is good enough for Chelsea. And when we say good enough for Chelsea, I mean good enough to help them win league titles as a main player. When you've got Loftus-Cheek trying to run your midfield, of course you're gonna lose. When you're bringing on Tammy Abraham, when you've got, I know he does well internationally, but when you've got Morata, what do you expect? Liverpool were excellent tonight, and there was a lot of people wondering what the reaction from Liverpool was going to be. How are they going to respond to their first defeat? They got a goal down inside 2 minutes. But I thought for the majority of the game, they had a good shape. The midfield were dominant. How Mo Salah didn't score, I don't know. Centre-backs from the corners were demanding and brilliant in terms of what they did. But overall, Liverpool were sublime tonight for an away Champions League night, an away European game, 3 goals at the San Siro. And barring the opening 2 minutes, they were exceedingly comfortable indeed. And look, Slot, I think he stepped up. Respect Tammy Abraham. Listen, I'm good players, but they're not champion. They're good players, but they are not of the ilk. If you want to be able to be the better side against Liverpool, they're not the ones. They're not good enough. There's a reason. People always talk about how do you define a player making it at your club? Are you in tears when they're leaving? If they're leaving before, like, they're over the hill, are you in tears when they're leaving? If you're like, nah, I'm not worried about them going, I don't know if I consider that making it at your club. And those guys are just aren't at the level, my friend. And it is what it is. Loftus-Cheek is 10 times the player of any Man United player. Then why is he in the Premier League? Why is he in Serie A? But that's cool. If you think that, Danny K, you think it. You think it, my friend. I mean, it literally is no sweat off my sack. Sunshine here says, let's freaking go. Yeah, be happy. And listen, if somebody's response to you being happy is, it's Barnsley, all that is the salt talking. That is the higher blood pressure and salt. That's all it is. So yeah, big up yourself and enjoy. Absolutely. Terry, I told you earlier, Milan ain't good enough. Liverpool fans don't get too hyped. Kompany's cooking with Bayern, 15 goals in their last few matches. Do you know what's really interesting as well? And I kind of want Vincent Kompany to do really well. And I tell you why I want Kompany to do well. There is this notion that if you relegate a team, or if you're a player in a team that gets relegated, that instantly makes you a loser. You're of low grade. You are not top quality. But of course, you sometimes are removing the context. And we've seen, by the way, Maguire. He got relegated with 2 or 3 teams that makes him a bad player. It's a good example because he isn't that great. But look how good Robertson was for Liverpool. He was a relegated player. As an example, Vincent Kompany getting relegated with Burnley doesn't make him a bad manager. It doesn't always work in that way. And if Vincent Kompany can continue to see Bayern Munich play the way they did, I've got to watch the game properly. I had like goals coming up, so I wasn't watching the gameplay. But listen, it doesn't matter who they're playing. To score 9 goals in a Champions League match, they also had 1 or 2 ruled out for VAR, I believe, is phenomenal. Is absolutely phenomenal. It really is. Liverpool embarrassed Milan in their home. Of course, absolutely. It was tonight. I know that their new manager, is it Fonseca? I know he's under pressure. I was listening to some of the conversation before the game. I know he's under pressure. He could lose his job after tonight. However, they have to be honest with themselves, AC Milan. You have got Loftus-Cheek. You have got Morata. You have got Tammy Abraham in your team and squad. And this is what I mean. You know, when people talk about you got to have high expectations, you got to have high standards. You can't have standards against this team with these players. You can't. So you can demand the club and the hierarchy build a team as good as the seed-off days, but you can't demand that from this team. It's just impossible. It's impossible. You've got to understand where you're at, and I don't know if they'll ever be back to that level, not with the lack of money in that league as well. Oh my God, we scored 7 goals. You've got to play who's in front of you. You've got to play who's in front of you. We played our best football in the cups. I did like whenever it turned over, we punished them from us. We need to do this more in the league. No, I agree, Joshua. I totally agree. And I think, look, we scored 3 goals at the weekend, which ironically equaled our best ever goal tally and score margin under Ten Hag. We then go and break it by a country mile. And I don't expect 5, 6, 7 goals past Palace. They're an exponentially better team than Barnsley. But if we could win that game and keep us clean sheet and score 3 goals again, it's a move in the right direction. And that is what we want to be seeing out of the Ten Hag and these boys this season, is progression. And we are a good cup team. We've been a very good cup team in the last couple of years. 3 finals, 2 trophies. So yeah, absolutely be happy that we did well tonight. And I want to shout out Marcus Rashford as well. Not only 2 goals since his debut as a Man United player, no player has scored more goals in the English League Cup than Marcus Rashford, and he's also won it twice in that process as well. So well done to him. Congratulations for that. Oh, wow. Fulham have been knocked out of the League Cup after losing 13-12 on penalties to Preston. Well, I saw it was 10-10 when I went live. Commiserations to Fulham. But that's a massive L again, because they're a decent team, Fulham. And this is the kind of trophy. If they get the right draws and some of the big teams knock each other out, there's always a chance of winning this. They'll be gutted. Also, I want to say commiserations to Leyton Orient tonight. My brother was at the game. Sorry, 16-15, KJ said. Leyton Orient, they went 1-0 up. I was so excited for them. The team I grew up around as a kid in my local area in East London. My brother's a season ticket holder. They went 1-0 up. They ended up conceding 3 goals, and they had a player sent off as well. So there was no way back for them. But so they were up against Brentford away from home as well, a Premier League team tonight. So commiserations, bruv, if you're watching, probably driving back from West London now. So commiserations, mate. It's still mad in our entire lifetimes. Orient very rarely get to the 3rd round of any cup competition. So Man United and Orient have never played each other, and every now and then they do. And I'm like, please. They've been drawn against Brentford, Fulham in the past. They played Arsenal in the FA Cup before. Still not come up against Man United. I'm gutted. Luke, thank you for the super chat. Yes, everybody hit the like button. Please get that done. According to the commentator, Gyökeres' goal made him the highest scorer in the last 365 days. I don't know if that's true. I would trust the commentators. Commentators do a hell of a lot of research before they go into games, and they have a lot of that information available beforehand. So I would probably trust that they're telling the truth. But the highest goal scorer in the last 365 days, I mean, it could be true. He scores a hell of a lot of goals. But what he didn't do today is score more goals than Garnacho. That's all I've got to say. I think Garnacho outscored him today. So I put a bet on Rashford to score 2 and United to have more corners. I won 100 quid. Here's a £5. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're a legend. Do you know what? I was a little annoyed with Rashford tonight. So why did he give I know he gave the penalty away to help Anthony's confidence. I like the team spirit of that. But I was like, you could have gone on to 2 goals after 30 minutes, get a hat trick. And these things, some people call it stat padding. I call it legacy building. And I know what your reaction will be. How can you build a legacy scoring against Barnsley? When you look at all the high goal scoring players, the high GA players in history, of course, they have great records against fellow big teams, cup finals, big matches. Rashford has that. Rashford's got a very good goal scoring record against big teams. Scored in finals. Do you know what I'm saying? So big FA Cup games and everything else. But if you look and actually delve into the numbers of even a Messi and Ronaldo with what they've done, the amount of goals they've scored against like sort of much lesser teams is crazy. And you can call it stat padding if you want. I just think that's a way of trying to undermine the quality of it. And that's one thing that Man United have always, my players have annoyed me about. We up against a team where you get 3 or 4 goals tonight, and we scrape 1 by, and it's like, fucking hell, you're missing a chance here. So yeah, don't give the penalty away again. Bayern with 9, the most scored in the Champions League. Oh, is it the most goals ever in a Champions League game? Damn. Fucking hell. That's crazy. That's crazy. Well, the new format started well. They're obviously top of the league, aren't they, after doing that? So well done to them. Hat-trick of penalty. He got 4 goals tonight as well, didn't he, Kane? It is funny how Kane in the Euros, we were all like Kane. Everyone was like, Kane's finished. Started this season scoring like mad. Scoring like, what's he on now? He must be on for club and country. What, 10 to 12 goals already in the opening 5, 6, 7 games of the season? Now he's got to be on more than that now. Someone check that for me, please, in the comment section. Let me know. Leo fucked it. Look, I tell you something about Rafael Leao. That Marcus Rashford has been awful for over a year. I wouldn't swap them for a second. An awful Rashford, in my opinion, is still better. I mean, I'm being serious. Rafael Leao is dog breath. Proper, nasty, 15-year-old dog breath. You know them dirty, scraggy, trampy dogs that stink? No bath in 5 years. That's Leao. He's just really quick, loads of skill, but does nothing. Does nothing. He was so frustrating watching him tonight. It really, really was. He really, really was. Terry, talk about Gravenberch. He's showing insane levels in every game this season. He's been amazing in that 6 role. Gravenberch has been absolutely out of this world. And when Liverpool signed him, I was gutted. And I don't think last season demonstrated his quality. I don't think that his time with Bayern Munich was good, but I never felt it was him. I never felt he was the problem. I just felt it was a case of, is he being used in the right system, in the right position? I suppose the modern day, I would just call it putting a square peg in a round hole. The modern day kind of colloquialism around it is sort of misprofiling a player. But he has been excellent under Slot. Maybe it's the Dutch connection as an example, but he has been nothing short of brilliant. Blaze here says, ridiculing Milan squad when you rate Garnacho, bias. Again, Garnacho walks into that AC Milan team and improves them, in my personal opinion. But on top of that, we're talking about where Milan were and what they've fallen to. Garnacho's a kid, still like, 20 years old. And doing well this season. 7 GA in 5 games. Get out of that one, Perry. Is what I've got to say to that. Get out of that one, Perry. And yet again, if you said now, Terry, you could literally have 50 million pounds and Rafael Leao, but Garnacho goes the other way, I wouldn't sanction it. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. And that isn't even because I'm saying Garnacho is light years ahead. I just wouldn't do the swap. It would just, brother, Nah, not at all. Terry is just like that, disingenuous. I mean, how am I being disingenuous? I mean it. I wouldn't swap Garnacho for Rafael Leao. I wouldn't do it. There's lots of players I would swap him for, but Rafael Leao isn't one of them. Not on your Nelly. Not on Garnacho better than Pulisic. Yeah, I mean, I didn't say that. When? I think he'd go. When did I say he's better than Pulisic? You man are weird. You have just seen Milan get battered at home. They're sitting mid-table in Serie A, and you're coming at me because I said they're not very good. Fuck my boots. Jesus Christ. So I'm sorry to blaspheme. I'm sorry, Almighty Lord, but I'm confused. The fans are protesting. The club can't win games. They just got little broed at home after going 1-0 up, and I'm out of order because I think having Chelsea rejects in the core of your team is a problem. Chelsea have been awful for 2 years, and they didn't want these players. Let that sink in for a minute. I'm sorry I'm getting animated, but this is a madness. What are you doing out here? What are we doing? Crazy. Garnacho balling out has upset people tonight, isn't it? Fucking Garni, what are you doing? What are you doing? Leao won Player of the Year in Italy 2 years ago. Garnacho is nowhere near. I don't care. I do not care. I do not care. I don't want Rafael Leao at Man United for love nor money. I wouldn't swap Garnacho for him. I wouldn't swap Ahmad for him. I wouldn't swap Rashford for him. I would swap Anthony if that was a choice. I'd go yes. But are we getting a player that's exponentially better than Anthony? No, we are. But the other three, not on your Nelly, my old mate. And yeah, 2 years ago, he was looking good. The improvement hasn't happened. Just go and research how good Francis Jeffers was when Arsenal bought him, as an example. Anyway. Anything I can do, you can't do better. That's what we could sing to Rafael Leao. But there we go. Right, I'm bringing my panel out now. Oh, I'm going to breathe for a second. It's been a good day. Let me just take a little sip of my sparkling water. I do like sparkling water. The more I drink it, the nicer it gets. Because it's healthy, because it's water, but it's a little bit fun. And as you all know, I've given up alcohol until Christmas. So sparkling water is about as fun as it gets for me now, beverage-wise. And a lot of people DM me going, do you have a drink problem? First of all, no, I don't have a problem. I like it. The reason I'm doing it is I got to lose some weight. And when I have a drink, I eat bad things. So it's literally I need to not drink so I don't eat the bad things. Because if I'm at home or I'm out and I have a few drinks, first thing I do is McDonald's app. Boom. Because there's nothing better than McDonald's when you're drunk. And then I love eating a cold cheeseburger in the morning. I've got to stop that because I'm going to do irreversible damage to my organs at my age if I keep going on in that direction. And I've got a lot of things to be responsible for. But yes, that's vodka. Now, beer is better. I'm just not drinking at the moment, my friend. That is all. Girlfriend says no. I don't know what that means, Tony. I don't know what that means. I don't know what it means. Oh, right. Panel time. Who we got here? We got KJ. We got Hussein. We've got Judge Mo. We got Mr. Little. We got Ram. Who else we got? We got Sunshine. We have G. We have Rack. And we have Sam. Big panel tonight. Look at that. Hello, everyone. We all had a good night tonight, didn't we? All of us. Oh, well, not you, Sam. Yeah, but you're a Madrid fan. You're never happy. You know what I mean? You're not happy. But we'll listen, KJ, 7 goals.
Listen, Mark is the 17th. You see, it was already written in the stars, bruv. 7 in the date, 7 on the night. Listen, guys, mark this down. Man United fan, mark this down. People will be like, oh, it's only Barnsley. Oh, why are you guys smiling? Oh, listen, we have not
It is only Barnsley.
Hey, Hassan, respectfully, shut up. Listen, no one's taking this away from me.
There you are.
We have not seen 7 goals. We haven't seen more than 4 goals in one game under Ten Hag. And when we have seen 4 goals, it was twice in 3 years. So to see not only us beat that, but get 7 in one game, I don't care who the opposition is. It could have been my local Sunday League team. It could have been Real Madrid. I don't care. I'm gonna smile because I get to see goals. I've been starving, and the last 2 games I've seen 10. So you know what? I'm not going to be complaining. I'm not going to be, oh, it's Barnsley. We need to improve it. Listen, 7 goals on a night. You can only but smile. It was a brilliant display today. We was controlled. We was confident. And that's the one thing that we've been lacking for the last 18 months is confidence. We've always been worried about, oh, what happens if we don't score? What happens if we concede? What? Today, they were like, you know what, we are the better team. Let's go take them by the jugular. Too many times in the last couple of years, we've seen us play Newport, Wigan. Who else have we played? We've played all these lower teams. 2-0, 2-1, 4-2. Like, we are struggling to score goals and win comfortably. Our first comfortable win, I think, since Crystal Palace, and that was only 3-0 in the EFL Cup last season. I think it was last season. But yeah, so at the end of the day, people can call me shameless. It's not shameless. I have shame because I know we're crap. So when these days come, I'm going to be happy. Okay. And big up Marcus Rashford, because this guy has been in the pits. And hey, Lord behold what a goal can do for his confidence. Lord behold what a moment of brilliance can do for his confidence against Southampton. Now he's back to looking like a player we saw a couple of seasons ago. Now, I'm not saying he's fully back and that's it, that we're going to go to the top and Rashford is going to score 30 goals again. But I've not seen a confident Rashford in like 18 months to almost 2 years. So I'm going to take him wherever I can get. Big up to everyone who scored today. The only thing I would say is I wish Mass was there, but who cares? We got 7 goals, 1 to their hat trick, 1 to 8, 1 to 10, 9, 10, and it's a happy feeling, a nice feeling to have as a Man United fan. So yeah, go on and criticize me all you want for being happy, but screw you guys, innit? Score 7 against Barnsley, then you can chat to me.
Yeah. Same difference between Barnsley and Man United. Same difference between Liverpool at home and Man United at home. It's the same.
Yeah. We found our level,
absolutely
man.
same exact thing, bro.
Yeah, we found our level.
And you know, I love it. You know what I love about this the most, KJ? It proves my point over and over again, and everyone falls into the trap where everybody's, even a fucking Inter Milan fan's biggest rival, we're hated that much that even when we win, we're mocked, right? And I was just looking at this, right? In the EFL Cup run where we won, we played Charlton, only put 3 past them. Burnley weren't a Premier League team, they only put 2 past them. Last year in the FA Cup run we had, Wigan, okay, who were a League One team, right? We only put 2 goals past them. Newport County, 2-0 up, 2-2. We went on to win 4-2, but we scraped over the line against them. Forest we beat 1-0. Coventry, we were 3-0 up and ended up drawing 3-3 after 90 minutes. And if it weren't for a toenail, they'd have knocked us out, right? So this is the point. We know we haven't been a very good team. So when we suddenly see, by the way, 2 back-to-back performances where we've dominated for the large part, scored some goals, we're not getting carried away. We're allowed to be happy. Anyone saying that we can't be happy and saying, but it's only this team, you're just bitter because of your hatred. And I say, calm down, especially at your age, Mo, because high blood pressure is definitely bad for your health, honestly. And you got a beautiful wife and she wants you around. So calm that blood pressure down, my friend, all right? Calm it down. It's true. No,
you're rattled for no reason.
No. Bruv,
I just said a fact. It's a fact.
It is not rattled to laugh at someone. That's not being rattled. It's hilarious.
It's also a fact to score 7. It's also a fact to score more goals than Liverpool today. More goals than Real Madrid. More goals than actually not Bayern Munich. They scored 9. So fair play to them. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a fact. We scored 7, bro. Hold that.
I mean, Garnacho now has more GA this season than Cole Palmer. I'm just throwing it out there. It's just a fact. It's just a fact.
Yes, now I can get behind this. This is what I can get behind. now I'm with you. Let's go.
It's just a fact. I can't. You know what I mean?
United end up putting 7 past some Chelsea loanee. So you know that big thing they've got going on about this. Rotating thing of talents. That's going really well. If they can see 7.
I would say, I mean, it is likely with how many players Chelsea have out on loan that everyone this season is going to score a goal past a Chelsea loanee. There's probably there's like almost like a mathematical certainty. I always want to speak Liverpool, but I'm just going to finish the Man United stuff off for a second. Sunshine, what did you make of tonight?
I mean, listen. You take 7 goals against any team, regardless, especially if you're a Man United fan. I think the irony is something I was going to touch on. You know, when we played Coventry and we almost got knocked out and we had to go from penalties, them lot weren't saying, "Oh, it's only Coventry." Do you know what I mean? Because if they were saying it's only Coventry, then really and truly we shouldn't be happy. Not gassed. The 2 different words. Happy. We shouldn't be happy that we slapped in 7-0 because we struggled against Coventry. That was actually a couple games ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, same year. So now when you actually perform against a team that you should be slapping 7-0, because let's be honest, if we beat Coventry 2-0, they'd still say, well, it's Coventry, you should be scoring more. So now we've actually done what we're meant to do as Manchester United. People still say, oh, it's only Barnsley. Wait, what? Would 8-0 make you say it's only Barnsley? Would 9, like, do you have to win 10-0 to then all of a sudden respect it? Like, where does the level of balance come in and the level of respect come in when you actually thump a team 7-0 to go, you know what, that's what you should be doing? What I should be hearing from rival fans and those that have that bitterness in the heart is saying, well done, you did what you should be doing. That's the bare minimum you should be saying. You don't have to gas us up. You don't have to say you're amazing. You should say you did what you should be doing as Man United. You can't even mutter the how can I say it, the confidence and the heart to even get that out of your mouth. how sad must you be as a football fan to have that much bitterness inside you that you can't even go, you know what? You've done what you're meant to do. No, you have to sit there and go, it's only Barnsley. It's only Barnsley. Yeah, behave yourself, man. We did 7-0. Confidence for Rashford. It was nice that the whole team got a run out. We should be seeing this, Terry. This is what we should be seeing at Manchester United. That early on in the season, you're playing these League One, League Two teams, whatever, Championship, go as far as you need to, and we should be going 7-0. We should be doing these things. So, in my opinion, that was the right kind of result Manchester United should have put in. Nothing less than 4 or 5 goals. We haven't been able to do that against lower league teams. We've been struggling on confidence, and I think the pressure from, how can I say, well, these teams, let's be honest, the teams that have been coming out against these smaller teams, shall we say, respectfully, we've been under pressure to actually go and dominate them, and these players have folded because of it. Tonight, we didn't do that. We actually said, no, we are Man United. No, we should be winning 7-0, and we will be making the effort. Bruno came on and created the most chances as soon as he came on. Was it 6 chances, 7 chances, something stupid? We should be doing that off the bench. So for me, Terry, probably the most positive result when I give you that side of the context. And it was nice to see Anthony play how he played, and he got his penalty, and Casemiro was actually spraying balls. Eriksen was in the right type of tempo game for him to be able to express himself. That's what you want. We need those type of players against people like Barnsley. There was a lot that went right, and I'm with KJ. Would have been nice to see Amas. I do still believe that we need him. I don't know what's going on with him, so I can't comment too tough. But as a neutral right now, I'd much prefer to see him come off the bench than Evans at left back. That's me referring back to the Southampton game. But other than that, Terry, great result, man.
Yeah, same. I completely agree, and I do get the banter. For a few people that don't understand what banter means, they're like, I can't believe you're flexing GA against Barnsley. It's called a joke. Honestly, I do worry.
But they can. Kane can flex his 4 goals, 3 penalties against Dinamo Zagreb. You know what I'm saying? That's allowed to be flexed.
I mean, but either way, I mean, I worry. But hang on, but I worry. I do worry, and this is not. Can we please have a moment's silence here? I worry about this new generation that cannot hear sarcasm and jokes. I worry about the future of Earth. I worry about Earth. If you can't hear a joke in that comment, I honestly think whatever country you live in, your government should take your toaster, your microwave away. You are a danger, bruv. You are a danger. And some of these people are illegally allowed to breed. Like, it worries me. It worries me so deeply to my core. Liverpool tonight, Hussam, I have to say, I said at the top of the show, were absolutely amazing for 88 minutes of the game. Opening 2 minutes were horrendous, but you responded well, dominated the game, answered a lot of critics about how you would respond after the Forest game, and you absolutely battered AC Milan at home.
We did. Back in the Champions League where we belong, 6-time Champions League winners. We have to remind the people in case you have forgotten. 6-time Champions League winners, you get me? Back where we belong. This is our competition. So listen, 6 times, Rax, tell him. So look,
your competition, yeah?
Sam, respectfully, no one cares about Madrid. This is a Premier League thing. Like, we're talking about in the Premier League.
You want to call me?
So anyway,
don't get know who the king of the Champions
This is a Premier League stuff.
No, crazy.
I'm just saying, no, you're superior. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's true. This is why United fans don't care if Liverpool have won it 6 times, because we say,
no. You cannot
compare the Liverpool United thing to Liverpool Madrid.
I'll land it really nice and easy.
You say your competition, yeah?
You genuinely think Man United fans are pissed off that you have 6 because it outshines us, but we know there's a better team in that competition than you, so we don't.
Thank you, Sunshine.
That's not the point. Let me tell you the difference. You cannot say.
Let me tell you the difference.
You cannot say it's the same.
With love.
It's not the same dynamic.
I respect you, Sam. But
because Madrid are in Spain
I'm
and
trying to help you, bro.
England.
I'm trying to help you understand my United fans.
Okay.
Ultimately, because it's the Premier League, it's just me versus you, bro. So we're the top of that. It's like, yo, you can't flex. But then you say Champions League, like, we'll go, okay, fair play, you've won this amount. But then we go, but you're not the best in the Champions League, so it's okay. So you're not the best in your respect.
I get what you're saying.
You want us to feel burned, bro. We don't.
No, I get what you're saying, but the dynamic of Liverpool United is not the same as the dynamic of.
Oh no,
Liverpool
I
Madrid.
hear that, and that's why I say I respect.
Because Madrid was not my rival.
You know what?
Like
Fair play.
we're not.
Yeah,
Barcelona
no,
is
they're
rival.
your owners, bro.
But
Because
the
every time
delusion,
against you,
and
you
Salah's
lose.
your owner. So where do we go
Subconsciously,
from here?
you've just said.
Okay,
that
let's
it's
just can we
your
just talk
competition.
about the game? Can we just talk about the game? I
But
don't
no,
wanna
but
fight.
Sunshine
It's
is right.
Madrid's
We are the king.
competition,
Hang on, guys. Just something. Sunshine is right. Man United are the kings of the Premier League, and Madrid are the kings of the Champions League. That is just a fact.
That's
But yeah,
all
back
it
to
is.
the game, Hassan. Back to the game.
Well done. Anyway, you get me. Liverpool 3, AC Milan 1. I forgot what I was saying. To be fair, we are the kings of this competition in England. So it's. Yeah, I can't believe I have to clarify that now because we have fucking Madrid fan. We have a Madrid fan.
In Northern Europe, we are the kings of this competition in Northern Europe.
Madrid fan here. Anyway, so look, Trent, the right back, assisted the centre back for the first goal. And then Tsimikas, the left back, assisted the other centre back for the second goal. I think if I told anyone our first 2 goals coming back in the Champions League is going to be scored by both our centre backs, everyone would have laughed in my face, assisted by both our full backs. That's the funniest thing of today's game. But look, Terry says first 2 minutes he's being nice. The first 15 minutes, I think we were dog shit, to be honest with you. I have no idea. It's like, okay, guys, you realize we are back in the Champions League, right? Like, you realize we haven't played in this fucking competition for a year. Can we wake the fuck up? We're at the San Siro, you get me? And they played the Champions League music and everyone's there. And there's the AC Milan fucking, like, ultras are there and shit. And you're just falling asleep for no reason. I think that goal is to blame on a bunch of people. I think Tsimikas is pressing unnecessarily high. I think Van Dijk needs to win that tackle. I think Konate is not aggressive enough. You could even say Gravenberch needs to occupy that position. There's 100 people to blame. But I think it was just lackadaisical defending by the whole team. But then I think 15 minutes, 16 minutes into the game, after that Mo Salah chance, really, we started to wake up. Everyone just woke up like, yeah, we're actually Liverpool. We need to perform today. I thought like 9 of the 11 players played well for me. I have nothing negative to say about Gakpo or Salah or Gravenberch. McAllister. Gravenberch is my man of the match personally. I thought he was unbelievable. But like most of the team played well. Szoboszlai scored a goal, but a goal cannot mask a good performance for me, a bad performance for me, because Szoboszlai needs to get his in terms of the passes, in terms of the accuracy of the passes, in terms of when you get into that dangerous position, I need the delivery, brother. I need the pass. I need the pass in behind. I need that accurate moment where you play that eye the needle pass. You know, someone running in behind, find him, try to find him, because well and truly, you know, we're saying we won 3-1 at the San Siro, fantastic result. No BS. This could have ended 6-1 if we just like fucking first of all finished our chances. Second of all, played that pass properly. And the second guy is Diogo Jota as well. This is the second game running where I expect him to be a bit more clinical in terms of right in front of goal. The chance in the first half, some people saying, "Oh, he should have passed to Gakpo." No, he should have scored. And in the second half as well, the same thing. He should have scored that as well. So for me, those are the two I'm looking at. I hope that they do improve. I hope that they do wake up in terms of Szoboszlai and Jota. But the rest of the team played well and we won the game. And look, this Champions League campaign is gonna be long as hell. Like this when we say Champions League campaign now, it's genuinely a marathon. It's like actually because it's 8 group stage games, and on top of that, it's another 2 if you are ranked between 8 and 9 and 24. So it's hell basically in a group stage. So I don't like that about the new format. But look, we won the game. Back to winning ways after the shit show on Saturday, and this is what we need more of. So I'm very happy with the game. We won 3-1, sorry. And though it's just disappointing to see those 2 players and the goal conceded early. But other than that, fantastic.
How about yourself, Tom? I mean, you're obviously very critical of your team the other day, but you really stood up tonight.
This is exactly why you don't overreact off one bad game and say, you know, calm down. Let's see how we bounce back. This is how you bounce back. This is a team of very good players, and you saw why Saturday was a blip. First 2 minutes, it was a comedy of headers. I mainly put it down to Tsimikas because he's never going to get there, and yet he kind of like halfway goes through it, and then everyone's trying to make up for that header there, and everyone's getting dragged out to try and fix that one mistake that was made that didn't need to be made. I felt that in the 10th minute or around about the 10th minute, we figured out how they were getting through us. And the moment that changed, we had them basically suffocated until about the 80th minute when we decided, you know what, let's just bring everyone on and chill out now. They couldn't play out. I mean, Mike Magnon made that game 15 minutes longer than it needed to be for one. I don't know why he kept going down and getting back up and then going down and getting back up. The moment it was gone, it was gone. But yeah, I've got to say, I feel like Szoboszlai actually had a pretty solid performance, especially in the second half. First half, it was a little bit sort of iffy, but second half, he really stepped up. But Gravenberch deserves man of the match. I want to give a special credit though to Gakpo. I thought he was absolutely brilliant today. So good on the dribble. Anytime he picked up that ball, he was driving with intent. He was shrugging people off. He was unlucky not to get a goal. He forced a couple of good saves from Magnon. Salah was unlucky to not get a goal. He hit the bar twice. I agree on the sentiment with Jota in terms of he needs to be more clinical. But it would have more weight if the guy who was going to replace him had good impact off the bench and Nunes. Well, he was Nunes. So there's only so
by the way, that weird. Sorry, that weird overhead kick he tried.
there's only so much pressure you can apply to him.
Tom, I don't want to interrupt you, Tom, but honestly, he just upsets my soul. Like every time he sees me, I see him, my soul gets upset. And I'm a very emotional person. People know this. But even in the watch along, every time he was in front of goal, I just didn't have. Terry, when you don't have a reaction, it's not even upset. It's just like, oh, here he goes again. He's gonna fuck up this guy's pass and fuck up this guy. You're attempting a bicycle kick. You can't even score a tap, and you fucking idiot.
Can I ask this question of you, Tom? I know it's very early days under Slot, but for me as an outsider looking in, I feel as though Nunes is going to be one of the first major casualties in the transfer market under Slot. It's like he doesn't fancy him whatsoever.
I don't think he fits the style. I mean, you look at the way Jota plays. You can see Jota, what he wants Jota to do, and whilst he's not necessarily performed at that level so far, I couldn't ask Nunes to do that. Nunes wants to go off the shoulder and running behind, despite the fact he's got zero IQ on how to stay onside, which is another one. He stands offside, calls for the ball, and moans that he didn't get the ball. But he's not the guy who's going to basically occupy two defenders, link up with the wingers, bring the attacking midfielder into the game. That's not Nunes, and it's never going to be Nunes. So I do agree in that sentiment that he's going to be one of the first major casualties. I'm kind of shocked that he wasn't offered out this window, because I think anyone who's watched Liverpool could see that was never going to work, and he's not that kind of striker. Whatever one we move in to replace him with, I don't know. I mean, that Gyökeres again, he had a very good game today, and he's a lot better when it comes to link up and stuff. Whether we want to move in a different direction, I mean, even in the short term, like you could, if we have to, you can play Gakpo up front. I'd rather play Gakpo up front than Nunes, but the Nunes conversation can happen any other time. I just want to appreciate what was a really good bounce back today. People were questioning it, especially I could imagine the conversations in the second, after the second minute with the Pulisic goal, and here we go, it's being found out. And I thought that was a really, really mature performance and a really well organised one. You saw it again, why I really like Slot as a manager, because he identified where Milan were catching us out in the first 10-15 minutes, made the adjustment, got McAllister pressing up alongside Szoboszlai to deal with their double pivot, and then they couldn't get out again. And we just started penning them in and closing them in, and then two good set pieces, which are rare because we're crap on set pieces, and then a really well worked goal for the third one. And like Sam said, it could have been 5-6 on another day. If we could be more clinical, God, we'd be driving buying for score lines. Honestly, some of the chances we create are ridiculous, and some of the chances that we miss are ridiculous. But yeah, happy. Move on to Bournemouth on Saturday.
Do you echo that, G? Do you echo what was been said there by Tom?
Yeah, man. Normal service is resumed. You know what I mean? 3-1 victory. With Hassam, though, that first 15 minutes, it wasn't comfortable. Like AC Milan looked like they were causing us a little bit of trouble. Our midfield, non-existent in that first 15 minutes. Don't know what was going on there. But then we got back into the game, and we was good, man. We controlled the whole game. You know, from there on in. Gakpo, I thought was man of the match, to be honest with you. I thought he was the best player on the pitch. You know, what he was offering down that left-hand side, the threat that he was offering down that side, I thought, he's putting in a monster performance, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, I didn't want him to come off, because I really felt, you know what, keep him on. Let's see if he can get a goal or two in the game. Well, to be honest, all in all, it's normal service is resumed. Do you know what I mean? I think everyone speaking after that Nottingham Forest game, the overreaction to that, to then today, and the stuff that I'm seeing, you know, in terms of the way people talk about players and the hyperbole, either side it's like chalk and cheese, to be honest with you. The way that everyone's kind of gone back to this player's amazing and this one is great and we are a fantastic team, guys. It's one result. Do you know what I mean? We move. AC Milan are a very poor team, if I'm being totally honest with you. And it was probably more due to our own negligence why they were having such a good first 15 minutes. But outside of that, you saw what AC Milan were about. Absolutely nothing, for more or less the entirety of the game. And Tom said it there. We probably should have scored about 6 goals today. Easily should have scored more goals. Jota, as Hussam said, a couple chances, especially one specific one. He definitely should have been putting in the back of the net. If that was Nunes, we'd all be, he'd be all on the timeline this whole evening. So, yeah, man, like I said, normal service resume. I'll be honest, it was one of those games where you just thought, once we got to half time, I was like, the game's kind of done, to be honest with you. One more goal just makes it look more comfortable, but it felt done at half time. I move on to the next game now. Simple. We have to just move on.
No, listen, I totally agree. Mo, as an Inter Milan fan watching AC Milan tonight, what did you make of it? Because
you're welcome, by the way.
They're rubbish, bro. They're rubbish. You guys know they're absolutely rubbish. It doesn't take anything away from Liverpool to come back from 1-0 down at the San Siro in the first game of the Champions League after they were away from the Champions League last season. It's a good result for Liverpool to start your campaign away from home and to win. It's a very good thing, no matter who the opposition is. Yes, Milan are crap, but again, they are crap, but they are still AC Milan at the end. You go to the San Siro, it's a little bit tough, but Liverpool dominant in set pieces. Konate and Van Dijk looked very, very good, to be honest. I know a lot of people blamed Konate for the first goal. It is his mistake. Again, he didn't react well in the first goal. He didn't cover well. He waited a lot for Pulisic. But Liverpool looked good, to be honest. Gravenberch looked like, again, he is the guy that is doing the wonders in the midfield. But I'm going to repeat this one thing again for all the Liverpool fans. You guys keep complaining about the DM, the signings, the window, this and that. Your problem is still the forward line. Your problem is still you scored 2 goals today from set pieces from 2 corners because Mike Maignan is shit in set pieces. Your forward line, if they don't deliver, you're going to have the same problems of last season, by the way. Same exact problem where you're going to complain at the end of the season that Nunes missed, Jota missed, Gakpo missed. That is one of the things that people don't talk about. We missed the DM. We needed the center back. No, your forward line aren't delivering. Mohamed Salah today, by the way, was just okay. Again, back-to-back games where he was just okay, right? The last game, he was shit. This game is okay. Jota is not delivering.
Today he was much better today.
Much better than the crap that he was, but that's not Mohamed Salah that you can rely on for the majority of the season. Last season, if it wasn't
I don't think
Mohamed
either
Salah,
of the chances you can say he should have scored because it's tight angle right foot. So I wouldn't expect him to score.
forget the chances. I'm talking about the majority of the game. He wasn't like on it like he was in the first game or two. You guys have to understand that your forward line might cost you the season again. What do I mean by cost you the season? You might miss on chances. You might miss on a Champions League. That is how I see Liverpool now. You should have signed a forward because Darwin Núñez, as Terry said, this guy's an absolute donkey. Like, he's absolutely shit in football. He shouldn't be playing for Liverpool Football Club. He's a donkey. I'm sorry. He's a donkey, to be honest. On the pitch, of course, not as a human being. As on the pitch. Right, come in.
Why are you apologizing?
Well, you didn't have to clarify that. We understood that.
Yeah, because some people just take it literally that I'm insulting the guy. I don't know the guy, to be honest. Like, he might be the nice guy. But that might cost Liverpool. Yes, Cody Gakpo looked good and everything, but you have to remember that your comeback came from 2 center-backs. And that is what happened last season. So Liverpool need to, in January, maybe a DM, maybe, but you need a forward. You need someone that is firing because you cannot keep relying on Mohamed Salah to deliver every single game. That is my...
No, I don't know why you keep repeating this point 500 times. I've already explained to you from different angles.
I don't need your explanation. What does that mean?
Okay, I want
to explain to me. That doesn't mean it's like...
I want to explain. Because this is the football terrace and I can talk.
Yeah, you can.
Then you just say you finished? Why are you interrupting me? Anyway,
I am, because you addressed me.
The reason why Liverpool need the DM is the following. Number one, it's because we have 2 players who play that position. And the third guy, whether it be Curtis Jones or Endo, it's not just a downgrade. It's a downgrade from hell. it's not just downgrade, it's like 500 levels below. So let's just put that to the side. Second of all, the reason why we needed the Zubimendi is because, as I have said from 3 months ago, the guy that goes to the bench in said scenario is Szoboszlai. People don't get it. McAllister would play further forward. He'd be the creative guy. And once again today, by the way, McAllister created the most dangerous chance of the game, just like he did against Nottingham Forest, just like he's done 500 times, because creatively you can unlock that side of him. And then you could play that total Dutch football. So it's not just needing a DM full stop. In terms of the forward line, this is something I've said all summer long, and I agree with you 100%. We have a fan base, unfortunately, that loves copium. Nunes is not good enough. I hope Diaz is consistent to the end of the season. I hope Gakpo has a consistent performances. I'm yet to see, we need to see more of Chiesa. But this Nunes thing, there's no need to apologize. Why are you apologizing for? He's a donkey. It's true. You know, I don't think anyone can teach this guy football. If Jurgen Klopp, who made Sadio Mane from Southampton become a Ballon d'Or contender, and Mo Salah from the villages of Egypt and Roma become a Ballon d'Or contender, and Firmino, who played right wing back in the last game under Brendan Rodgers, become a Ballon d'Or contender, and Divock Origi score goals off the bench against Barcelona and Tottenham Hotspur in Champions League semi-finals and finals, and Shaqiri from Stoke City deliver in a forward line, and Jota and everyone except him. He's the only one who hasn't delivered. If he can't fix him, I'm sorry, no one can. Just pray. I'm with Nunes. I'm with prayer phase. I look at God and say, Inshallah, Ya Rab, he learns how to score, because that's the only way. You have to resort to divinity. That's the only way he can improve.
Ram, what did you make of tonight? Obviously, everyone sort of touched on the reaction. Who stood out to you? Who were the star players in your side tonight?
I think everyone's really mentioned the main players. One thing I was say, I thought Szoboszlai was quite good. I thought Szoboszlai, the second half was a lot better. I will say, for Sam, Sam's not gonna like this. Salah being a bit greedy today, Mr. Number 11, was just checking shots left, right, and center. I'm just saying, if he could have squared it off to Szoboszlai for an easy tap in, I'm just saying, would have been a little bit different. But look, overall, I asked for patience from the fan base, and look what happens. You know, I said it on Saturday. It was a big blip. I said it's the first time I saw the entire team and managing staff and everyone do an absolute madness and play like crap. And now look what happens. We bounce back from it, and that's all we could ask for. That's all we could ask for. And at the moment, hopefully this takes confidence into the next game against, I think, Bournemouth at home, which I think it should be a win for us. But look, at the end of the day, professional performance. Everyone played well. I can't say anybody off the top of my head that played poorly today. But yeah, for me, when I heard Gravenberch got man of the match, I thought Gakpo got robbed. I thought Gakpo was really, really good today. Driving with the ball, passing, everything, all-round play was absolutely fantastic today. So, yeah, Gakpo for me, man.
How about yourself, Rack? Who would you be giving your man of the match today to?
I mean, yeah, Gakpo. I thought he was good. Between Gakpo and Gravenberch for me, I thought Gravenberch has really come on in that role, and I wasn't a fan of. And I wasn't a fan of his last season. In fact, last season I thought he was terrible. And he's really proved me wrong. But it's very, very, very early days in that role, and 1 or 2 or 3 good performances is not gonna make me change my mind, because I need to see him step up and do it real top level against real top class opposition for a consistent run of games. But in terms of what can I kind of asked much more for him in the start of this from the start of the season. He's been brilliant. Look, Milan are crap. Milan are a terrible team right now, and so I expect us to potentially be even more dominant and win with a similar kind of scoreline, because, as Mo said, they're not a good team.
Gravenberch did it against Man United, unless you don't consider Man United a top team at Old Trafford, though.
Yeah, but I think most Man United fans will say that wasn't a strong performance, and they're probably not. At least from what we've seen so far.
Rack, stop being around. Our level is Barnsley.
No.
Our level is Barnsley.
So far, the level they've shown this
No,
season,
that's
I don't
not
think
your
you're
level.
saying
You
they're
didn't
one of the
represent.
top 5, 6, even probably top 8 teams in Europe. So that may change, and maybe things. Maybe they're going to go in the right direction. But I still need to see more from Gravenberch. Even if that was a one-off game, I still need to see more. Look, I don't want to hark back to the weekend, but we've had a really good start to the season. But the performance on Saturday still worries me because we were flat for the whole game. And I understand people will call it a blip, and I really, really hope it was a blip. But we will only really know that when more and more teams come, and they'll come and they'll park the bus and they'll occupy, the dangerous areas where that we attack from, and try and hit us in the counter attack, and then we will see. But good performance today.
Do you know what was a massive change from Saturday? Well, massive difference from Saturday and today. And I think given the fact that Milan scored in the first 2 minutes, it kind of aided us because on Saturday when they scored, we looked nervous, we looked desperate, and we looked like we were trying to do everything in our power to try and get a goal by just launch the ball 50 yards forward and hoping someone gets onto the end of it.
Yeah,
Compared to today, we were a lot more patient, and we started to probe around Milan, and we saw the gaps that were on the flanks, and we decided to launch crossfield balls onto the flanks and take them on the fullbacks. And it worked out well because we ended up creating a lot of chances from that. That is the main difference that I wanted, and that's
That's so out of context. That's so out of context.
It's not out of context, though, Husam. How was it?
Because we conceded against AC Milan in the 2nd minute. We conceded against Forest in the 72nd minute. So the time is completely different.
But it still doesn't give the players the right.
When you concede a goal in the 2nd minute,
trying to play hero every 5
seconds.
seconds.
So that's why the team didn't panic. But when you concede at the end, 15 minutes left, then you're going to have a different reaction.
But it's not even that. But it still doesn't give the players the right to launch the ball 50 yards forward thinking they're Steven Gerrard. You know what I mean? It doesn't give Trent the right to try and cross the ball every single opportunity he has.
So you're shitting on Trent and Mo. That's why you don't deserve world-class players. You deserve Colchetti.
I did not. I just
and Milan
performance for that single game. Did you hear me? What? I just criticized that single game, and that's the
Trent literally pocketed Leao.
I made it into a positive, Hassan. I made it into a positive.
Why did you say that, Terry? How Mr. Trent can defend? Literally pocketed Leao today.
Well, do you know what I would say about Trent? But have you noticed I haven't spoke about Trent's defending for about 18 months, getting towards 2 years now? Do you know what? But no, hang on. Whoa. But do you know why? Because he started. Because he improved, which proves the criticism I had before was right. Because as soon as he's improved, have I got an agenda?
Nah, Terry, you got to give him credit. No,
no longer.
I praise him. I've praised him many a time in the last year for solid defensive performances, and I would you to speak about it. His issue was awareness before. He didn't see things, and I think that awareness and vision, to a degree, can be taught. You can be taught what to look out for, what to react to. You can realign your brain on certain subjects, and I think awareness can be taught to you, especially when it's like looking for things that are actively happening. Different for creative awareness, understanding where space might appear, but looking for danger on a defensive level, he's got much better at that, and he's learned to. His one-on-one defending has improved. He makes the attacker make the first move far more often, and it's much easier to win those duels in that way. Once you do that, he's improved massively. Absolutely. We have a few super chats here. First one says, United too strong for League One, promotion incoming. Thank you, bro. Absolutely. Mo, you got me crying right now is what's been said here. I'm looking at Mo. He's about to start hating. Josh was right. You were right, Josh. He did start hating.
I can tell by the smile.
Blaze calls me out here and he says that you sound like Don when he says he won't swap Martinelli for Mudryk. Literally deluded if you think Garnacho starts over Leao or Pulisic. Personally, again,
Pulisic is crap. Pulisic is crap, man.
Not Pulisic, definitely.
He was in the Premier League for how many years? Did nothing. Got shipped off to Milan. Has had a few decent games, but come on, man! Like if you gave me the option, Garnacho has got a much higher ceiling than Pulisic.
Yeah. Again, I'm not like Don. Don says I wouldn't swap, praises every element of Mudryk versus Martinelli, but won't come out and say, I think Mudryk is better. I'll Blaze say, honestly, I don't care about technical ability. I think Garnacho is a better football player than the two of them, and I wouldn't do the swap. I just think overall, Garnacho in his career, and we all know this means unless there's an injury, he will deliver more as an individual and win more than Rafael Leao and Pulisic.
Leao, I'll disagree.
Leao is a league winner, so it's not a. It's not just gonna be as simple.
Not only a league winner, the best player in the league that season as well.
Okay, cool. Fine. I think Garnacho will end up having a better career than him. And by the way, we can come back and visit this in 10, 15 years' time. Garnacho's already won an international trophy as well that he was part of. So yeah, I'm just throwing it out there.
Garnacho will win Player of the Year in the Premier League, and he will win the league, guys.
Hang on. Whoa. So I'm going to mute you. I'm muting you. I didn't say he was going to win Player of the Year. Where did I say he's going to win Player of the Year in the Premier League?
Because you're saying he's going to have a better career than
hang on. Everyone slow down one at a time. Let me respond to one at a time. So since when, to be better than somebody, do you have to have the same or better achievements in terms of trophies? And because when has that ever come up in conversation before?
That's not
He's muted.
You're on mute. No.
Individual achievements.
The football terrace uncensored. This is the same conversation people have between Mohamed Salah and Cristiano Ronaldo in the Premier League, because Cristiano Ronaldo in the Premier League won Player of the Year and won Ballon d'Or playing for Manchester United.
There is no debate. CR7 is miles, Chris. Stop it.
Hold on, bro. We're not talking about his career at Real Madrid. There are miles between Cristiano Ronaldo and probably every other player bar Messi in the history of the sport. I'm talking about the Man United career. I'm just giving an example of the people when they say, but Cristiano, even though he doesn't have the longest career at Manchester United, he left to Real Madrid, his achievements during that time surpasses a lot of players in the Premier League, even though he had a shorter career. People have the same for Gareth Bale. He said that 1 year when he won Player of the Year, that justifies a lot of him to be chosen in the elite of the elite of the game. So that is the same conversation about individually.
So let me just respond to that. So again, I'm just talking about overall careers. I think in 15 years' time, we're going to look back and I think we'll say Garnacho, saying he's a better player or not is too subjective, because we know in the footballing world, you can win almost nothing in comparison to somebody who's won it all, and people will still say the person who's won less is better. So again, I'll make sure I phrase it in the right way. Garnacho will have a better career than Rafael Leao. So otherwise, we'll never come to a consensus and an agreement because it's subjectivity.
But going by your own metrics as well, you then have to quantify that. So will he win more league titles? Will he have more goals? Will he have? Well, what will he actually do?
Yeah, okay. Well, I just think what that So what that means is I think he will have more trophies that are of a high standing. Okay, so if Rafael Leao goes and plays for Celtic, he might win more league titles, right? But I would say 5, 6, 7 Scottish leagues doesn't equate to one Premier League as a main player, right? So I'm talking major trophies in the top leagues, international trophies, and individual delivery, so outputs. I think Garnacho will have a better career by the time they both retire. That's what I think. So, and we'll come back to it in 15 years' time. If I'm wrong, again, equally, I don't give a fuck. It's just an opinion. If I'm wrong, so what? Leao, I haven't bet the football terrace on it. It's not the end of the world. Leao is a bum. Some fans wanted Arsenal to spend 80+ million on. Terry, some fans just see flicks. And I will say this, his flicks and tricks, his dribbling ability is clearer Garnacho. I'm not going to make that distinction. But when I watched Rafael Leao play, and I don't know how many games I've watched him play in the last 2 to 3 years, Champions League, International, I just see a lot of fur coat and barely any knickers. The lack of end product is unbelievable from such a talented player in terms of the technical ability that he's got. And tonight, he did that. He beat everyone. He's running through. He gets a little tug on his arm. Oh, I'm going to fall over. Cream puff, get out of here. United are scary under Ten Hag 10 more years. I know you're scared. Why are people pretending that if we beat a non-league side, as if we beat a non-league side. The hatred is so unreal. Beating any side 7-0 in competitive football is no mean feat.
You guys are so sensitive. It has nothing to do with the fact, we beat a non-league side. Everyone expects you to beat Barnsley. Just get a grip, Sahaj. You guys always think that everyone hates you. Like, it's not.
You do.
Don't beg that. Stop this.
KJ, let me say one sentence. I'm gonna mute my mic. One sentence.
Okay.
My thing is, when we say stuff like it's only Barnsley, this is normal. If I beat, I don't know, Coventry City next week, you're gonna say it's only Coventry City. Who gives a fuck?
No.
I don't really chat about other teams like
don't
that.
judge us by your standards. Don't do that.
But the thing is,
they may not say it, but they'll think it.
What goes on in my head goes on in my head. But you have to admit, Hassam, you're on my channel here. When do I do that? I set the tone for the channel. When do I come on here?
You personally don't do it. Yeah.
No, there we go. Let's move on.
But it's not that deep. It's normal.
Man United fans got caught in the Mo agenda trap, of course. But Mo, we know that. Mo, after Liverpool win, think you couldn't have a laugh.
What does that even mean?
That means Liverpool win a game and you're sort of having a go at Liverpool fans for being happy. That's because he supports Inter Milan and he's miserable.
You're a Debbie Downer, Mo. That's it.
He's miserable. Because I reckon what Mo's doing that. Mo, because he's involved in so much sort of Premier League football content, I bet he's regretting the decision to support a Serie A team. He's like, why didn't I pick a Prem team? Why didn't I pick City? Why didn't I pick City? He's gutted. I bet you are. Especially as you're not in the UK, right? And there's going to be very little evidence available of who you supported as a kid. You literally could have come online and said anyone, and it's like all those. There was a guy actually that was on a proper Premier League show the other day. He's like in his late 30s. He's from some part of America, and he's telling them that he's been a fan of City since he was a kid. And I'm like, there is no 5-year-old 35 years ago that picked City living in Ohio. It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
The only way it happens is if his parents came from Manchester, supported City.
Yeah. But even Daps is a great example. A lot of people call Daps out from Never a Foul and say like he's not really a City fan, especially as he's a Southerner. But if you know his story, it's because if his stepfather was from Manchester and he lived there as an example. That's when it makes sense. There is no one my age. So if you meet anyone who is 30 years old or older, okay, especially if they're British, right, or grew up in a country where football is the most prevalent sport, if they say I was a City fan since I was a kid, they're a fucking liar. If they're not from Manchester or have no family connection, they're just lying. It's as simple as that. Hamza.
We know Hamza.
We ain't getting into it, Hamza. Hamza's different, though. Terry, I will tell you, Mo is a closet Arsenal fan. Maybe. Humbly, I would say... fuck Man United forever. Hello, Sarim. Long time no see. Terry worries about the new generation must also include the kind of players they rate, like Leao. The hype around some of these players is just so cringe. But I'm going to call something else out as well. I haven't said this before, but I'm going to call this out. A lot of people in the comments are talking about Player of the Year in Serie A. Oh my God, he's a baller. I remember you guys. You're the same guys when Man United signed Rasmus Højlund, said, but whatever he's done in Serie A, you've got to divide it by 3 because it's the crap league. Suddenly, a Player of the Year award holds massive value. So a Player of the Year award in Serie A, if you divide it by 3, what does that mean in the Premier League? Fucking goal of the month. I don't know. It's just crazy. The hypocrisy stinks, and you can't get me on it in terms of hypocrisy. You can say my opinion's wrong, but there we go. Another example of why only Liverpool fans think Van Dijk is the best centre-back right now. Every average fan knows he's class, but Saliba is number 1 right now. That goal was on Van Dijk tonight.
The only guy, I think they're in the same category with Rudiger. Those are the 3 best centre-backs, but
that's true.
Thank you.
I'm not going to cry if you say any of them are the best in the world. I just think Van Dijk.
Van Dijk
Sam,
is
you
Arsenal
can't-
fans
shoulders
crying
Van
about
Dijk
it.
is head and shoulders above these guys. Sam,
No, he's not. No,
he's absolutely.
no.
Take
not,
any
not
of those.
anymore.
Take
Not
any of
anymore.
those guys away from the crutches that they play with. The fact
Not
that Saliba's
anymore.
terrible in the air, and the fact that Gabriel Magalhaes makes up for his deficiencies in the air. Put how many different partners has Van Dijk had at Liverpool? Every single player he plays with, there's no drop off in his level. If you put Saliba with Ben White at the back, you think he's going to play at the same level? Absolutely not. Never in a million years.
For me, it's been
Prove it. Prove that theory,
I
Rak.
can't. Yeah. I can't
Prove
You're about to say
it.
Rudiger. I saw videos of Eric Bailly. That man is Eric. That is Rudiger's dad. Eric Bailly is the reason why Rudiger can run, bro. So don't be coming here with no Rudiger prop.
Nah, KJ, he's matured his game. He's matured his game.
Best free centre backs in the world: VVD, Saliba, Martinez. Simple as that. Simple as that.
Wait. If Van Dijk was
Martinez,
5'9", would he be as good?
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
No.
If Van Dijk was at who, would he be as good?
But
And
if he was 5'9",
If Van Dijk was
would he be as good?
5'9", would he be as good?
There you are.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, in fairness, I would say at league level, club level, like the Lit's up there as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm just winding you up, everyone. It's a joke for all the amoebas tuning in. Hamza is a citizen from the streets of Sao Paulo. I don't understand. What does that mean?
It's just because Hamza claims to be Brazilian.
Yeah.
He actually told me this story when I met him.
Well, does he? Nah, Hamza, you're the best.
With his head shake, you can't claim to be.
I love that, man.
I'm just laughing because I think it's funny. What part of Brazil? I'd love to hear him speak Portuguese. Oh yeah, I used to work with a Brazilian woman, and it took me about 3 months to realize when she was saying "oi." Oi in Portuguese doesn't mean the same as oi in English, but she said oi all the time. Because it's not quite oi, it's like oi. It's sort of like hello, hi type thing. And every time she said it, I used to feel like my shoulders go up. Like, what do you mean oi? It wasn't that. Took some time. She was lovely. She lovely. She left. I don't know where she is now. I mean, I didn't stalk her. Mo, I don't know.
Sorry.
No. She got married. She got married. She married a guy she married a Brazilian guy that also works in the bank called Bruno.
Oh,
and then they left. Yeah, good people. Good people.
Okay.
As much as United has been shit, but we'll never swap for a fraud and cheating Inter Milan because you'll never be bigger or close to United.
Yeah,
Sorry,
whatever makes you sleep well at night, my friend. You want to triple?
When did Inter Milan cheat? When did Inter Milan cheat?
We never cheated, bro.
2006.
Oh, that's
Then
not
actually-
No. Didn't Inter Milan win a controversial Champions League or European Cup final against? Was it against Celtic?
What do you mean controversial? What does that mean? Like a mistake, a referee's decision?
No, like
yes, yeah, we did a mistake, a referee's decision. No,
rumors of corruption.
No, never happened. Never happened.
It was
A referee's decision, yes. Never happened. Never happened.
I love you, bro. You are a good.
Never happened. By the way, Man United got relegated. Inter never from our league. You want a treble? We want a treble. 3 Champions Leagues. 20 league titles. 20 league titles. You have 4 cup. You have 2 extra cups because you have more cups. So trophy-wise, very similar. By the way, it's not my fault that you're playing the Premier League now. It is a tough league and the biggest league in the world. I love the Premier League, of course.
And by the way, let me just tell.
By the
way, for the people that ask, I support Inter for 26 years in 1998. But I watched the Premier League.
Yeah, he picked. It makes sense actually that he picked a Serie A team during the 90s when Serie A was the best league. But what I will say, Man United double your turnover, which means you've got double your fans, which means
100%. You are a much bigger fan base. I have to
much
say
bigger than you. Do you know what I mean? It's true. Terry, do you know why Golden State Warriors has so many fans all over the world since 2015? I have got
Marco. I'll tell you. I'm the NBA guy on the story.
Okay, just Steph Curry. Well, it's interesting because when I watched the Ronaldo documentary that came out a couple of years ago, there was a really the fact they didn't focus more on this discussion point in the documentary made me fuming. But football started to follow a similar pattern to the American sports, which was where I didn't know this existed because, again, I don't follow American sports closely enough, that people typically pick teams. They don't support teams. A lot of the times now, the younger generation support players. So it's players they pick as opposed to teams. And that's kind of felt. It's when in football, there's a Man United fan who looks a bit like Rashford that was always celebrating us losing last year. He's now wearing Chelsea shirts and saying we when talking about Chelsea. And Chelsea fans are like, I'm confused, you're a United fan. He says, no, I'm part of Sancho Nation. And that exists now as an example. However, the problem that you have, and this is where I've got no issue with anybody from any part of the world watching European or English football. I don't gatekeep it. The only element of it, I suppose I am gatekeeping a little bit, is I think it should be illegal for football fans to support players over clubs. Because again, what I wouldn't do is start following an American sport and trying to make it British. I wouldn't go, do you know what, guys? We've got to stop these fucking tailgate parties. It's a health and safety nightmare. I feel like there's elements that are... No, it's true. I feel like when you adopt something from another country, like I don't snap spaghetti in half, right? I thought it was disgraceful when Jamie Oliver tried to jerk fucking rice, bruv. Do you know what I'm saying? There's certain things, whether it's food, music, sport, that's a country's culture, and there's certain things you shouldn't disrespect. And I think that when it comes to football, you pick a team, you have one team only. I mean, even KJ, he business partner of mine, even he does some scumbaggery when he wears other clubs' football shirts. I think all of that should be a prison sentence. 2-tier karma, Kia, that should be another one. That should, do you know what I mean? That should be a prison sentence wearing another club's shirt. Straight in prison.
I actually, do you know, Eddie just explain it to me. Do you know, I didn't know that. I was watching the guy he's talking about on Twitter, and I didn't understand it. The Sancho Nation guy.
Oh, yeah.
Wallahi, I didn't understand how is this even possible? The guy is now saying we, and I'm like, but the Man United shirt 25 behind them. And I'm like, how is that? We won today. And I'm like, I didn't understand
it. It's crazy. On a real level, on a real level.
I've literally got that same in my club with Kylian Mbappe now. I've literally got the same.
Yeah. I look at it this way. I don't, on a real level, I have no real issue with it in terms of, like, especially the shirts, but the whole supporting a player over a club.
Oh, I have.
It froze my mind. It doesn't make sense, and I just think it's something that we shouldn't. I don't know how you stop it, and saying we shouldn't allow it in football does sound a little bit kind of like authoritarian, and I don't mean it to, but it's just it should always be the club first, because what I don't get is what you do when that player retires. For me, that blows my mind. It's like football then ends for you. But how can you just fall in love? The point is, I could never love another football club. If Man United went out of business, I think what I'd probably do is pick a really small local team to support and then just watch Premier League football. I don't think I could ever bring myself to support another football. Like Eric Cantona, I think, got it absolutely right. In this world, rightly or wrongly, you can change wives, you can change your name, you can change religions, you can change jobs. You don't change football team. And that is just such a strong element of European football at large. And I don't, the one thing I don't like is this, I'm picking a player. And equally, because what it does, and you're seeing it now with Mbappe fans, is it brings people along that then start to talk about your club in a way that they just don't
CR7 before as well.
But yeah, they come to your club, but they don't understand your club because they've only just arrived. And I
literally asked the geezer 2 simple questions. When was my club founded? And why is my stadium now called Santiago Bernabeu? He couldn't answer me either of those 2. That told me, and that just showed me everything I needed to know.
Yeah, but that happens in the NBA though. Like even when LeBron James went from the Cavs to the Heat to the Lakers, the guys just support the.
Yeah, but that's the same thing. There's no difference.
I'm a Knicks fan because of Carmelo Anthony. When he went to Lakers, you didn't see me. I was never bashing him.
I think I don't see. Yeah, I
still go to the club.
Yeah, same as I picked the Phoenix Suns when I was younger, basketball. I don't remember why. I still look out for them now. I picked in hockey. I picked the Ottawa Senators because I didn't have a team and I was in Ottawa in Canada and I went to a game and I picked them and I still look out for their results. And I actually picked the Philadelphia Eagles purely because I watched the Mark Wahlberg film Invincible, and I picked them, right. But I know some people do, like, but as a British person, my view is once you pick a team, you're stuck with them, no matter how good or bad they are. But I see people now, younger people, I'm going to switch teams now, I'm going to change. And I just like, I don't know. Again, I'm not gatekeeping. I don't think it's gatekeeping. I think you shouldn't change the traditions. That is a big, without fans, football shit, in my personal opinion. If it was just, if there's no fans, football would be crap. And it's such a key traditional component. And I think it's something that we should look to cherish, because I think it's an important part of our footballing culture, not just in England, but across European and world football as it is. The same as I'm sure there are loads of little peccadillos and nuances to American sports, the same as there are to other sports and all other types of cultures around the world, food, music, whatever it may be, that I don't believe that we should be looking, that a new generation should be allowed to come along and just change. Something about it feels a bit icky to me personally.
You know what it is? I remember going, like, when you're at school, right? You go in on a Monday and you talk about, how, you take the piss out of the Liverpool fan, you're a United fan back then, because we lost against someone stupid, or vice versa, right? What do you say to the guy who's like, oh yeah, how did Cristiano Ronaldo get on? You can't banter. There's no argument. There's no discussion about that. Oh yeah,
I'm so sure Rax, you were a bully in school, 100%.
I think that's the thing.
Late 70s, early 80s.
No, Rax lying. Rax was the guy going to school bullying people because he supported Liverpool in 1970 something. So
yeah,
that is why he's trying to make out he's younger than he
that's
actually is. He's an old man.
Now look, if that's the generation we've got, if that's what we've got, cool, safe. But you just can't have football conversation with these people, because their narrative is going to be player central, not football central. That's a fact. So their bias, the way they support whatever player is only going to be able to have. You're only going to be able to have conversations based on player versus player. That's it. When it comes to
I agree.
Clubs, you can't have that deeper connection.
The reason why I say it's wrong is if everybody today, Magic Wand time, whoever it is, the football gods, right? So they don't offend anyone, waves a magic wand and everybody just supports their favorite player. Within a year, 99.9% of all football clubs around the world go bust, go out of business. And literally, there's no football anymore. If you stop supporting clubs and just support the best players in the world, football ends in 20 years' time when they're all retired. Because who is going to put the money into the clubs that don't have the best players that everybody loves to develop the next round of players that come to it? Just ends. It doesn't work in the long term. And what I think is easy for certain, and again, maybe this is making it a bit more serious than it needs to be, but it's very easy when everybody else is supporting the true culture of football and the pyramid of it, for a handful of people to come along and go, I'm just going to support the best player in the world or whatever club he's at. For me, I feel that's like a little bit of a cop-out. And someone actually calls me out here, and it's a fair challenge. It says, Terry, you pick United because of your favorite player. Please stop the cap. Well, that isn't strictly true. I picked United in the late 80s when we weren't winning. But I was a little kid, and my dad didn't let me change teams. I remember my dad laughing at me, even though he was a Spurs fan, that I picked United because we weren't winning very much. But I supported them, but I was a little kid. What do I know at 5, 6, 7 years old? The bug really came when David Beckham ended up being from the same area, same hospital I was born in, same primary school I went to. I think primary school, maybe it was senior school now. I have to go back and look. But he went to, so it was sort of like, it was like, oh, wow, I support that team. It kind of gave me an even bigger affinity. Always supported them. Then I moved to Manchester when I was quite young because of my sport, and then was in the city and in the culture and fell in. I would say that gave me a deeper love. I was going to games on a regular basis, and it kind of, it made me, it gave me an even deeper appreciation as an example. But if Man United, we've had a horrible 11 years by the standards that I grew up with, but if we got relegated and went down to the Conference League, I wouldn't stop supporting them. So yes, I was very, very fortunate that after like 3 years of supporting them, Man United went from being a laughing stock in England to being one of the best teams around. That was just pure and utter fluke. I had no idea at that age what was going on.
Even if you supported the club because of a favorite player, it's about sticking
with
the club.
I'm stuck with them. Exactly. And it's just, but
Terry,
again, it's crazy.
Sorry, bro.
My first introduction to football was Michael Owen. Imagine if I followed him around. Fuck me.
You'd be a United fan at one point as well.
I would have been a Liverpool fan, then a Madrid fan.
You'd have won more Premier Leagues if you'd have done that. Jesus Christ.
And European Cups and everything.
This is what I get for
just quickly, Bruce. I got to shoot, but
never gonna back you up again.
The serious part of it, Terry, is from that guy's comment is you didn't just put a full stop and go because of this player. That's it. you actually embedded yourself into the club. You understood the club. You learned about the club as you went. So it's all right to have the initial spark, a bit like a relationship or your woman, whatever, your wife, whatever. You have the initial spark, but then you've got to get to know that person to then actually be committed to that person. These people aren't going any further than I've just got a spark for a player and that's it. So yes, if a player makes you feel, oh, I want to support Liverpool, whatever. I mean, I don't know what dumb person does that in the world. It's mad. But if that's the situation, you can't just stop there. You got to know your club. You got to get involved with the club because that's how you maintain your club's legacy by becoming one of them fans.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. DJ here says Terry previously supported United when they were crap. It's absolute cap. You supported them. Well, this is the thing. I mean, look, if I'm gonna have to go back to my dad's house, go in the loft, find pictures, but you could. He'd been on streams before. You can ask my brother. You can ask my dad. It is what it is. I was born in 1985. It was the late 80s when I first started watching football. I was very young, but my son now is 4 years old and watches football with me. He's a Man United fan. He's not going to remember the intricate details of how and when he became one, but this is when it started. But I remember vividly watching games of the World Cup in 1990. I remember it, and we watched football all the time at home, and I remember that tournament. I remember not qualifying for the Euros in 1992. I remember watching league games and football matches. It wasn't as readily available on TV until the Premier League came along. So my footballing memory starts before the Premier League did. I have vivid memories of football before then. It was harder. Again, showing my age here. Terry, what do you call I Show Speed then? I call him,
but he's not a football
again.
fan.
I call I Show Speed is an influencer. That is again what he is what he is. I mean, he's an act. He's an entertainer. He's a Borat. He's a Bruno. He's an act. I can imagine when the cameras are off, he's a very different person. And that's not a dig.
This guy that is Speed.
Maybe,
but he's not a football fan. He's not a
he doesn't. That's separate to me. However, it's the whole sort of like I've seen him before. I text Ronaldo show. He's got a messy one on. It is what it is. I don't. It's for kids and young kids find that funny and entertaining. But my kids watch Blippy. You're not going to ask me for my fucking opinion on Blippy, are you? Do you know what I mean? It is what it is. He's basically a children's entertainer. I'm not taking him seriously. He's amazing at what he does, but. That for me is not a serious conversation to have regarding all of this.
Also, in that period, despite the fact that United weren't successful since the Matt Busby days, really, United was still probably the most supported or one of the most supported teams in England. Like it was back then, it was Liverpool, Arsenal, Man United. They were the top three teams in terms of supporter base. So it's entirely, you can't say all of those people who are Man United fans.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily think it's wrong for someone to pick a successful team to support.
Then City won the jackpot.
I think it depends on the age in which you do it. If someone's, again, if somebody is sort of 40 years old now and they're like, yeah, I've been I grew up in the East End of London. I've been supporting City since I was a kid. Oh, how come you pick City? Oh, I just loved that I played football when I was a kid. That's how you know it isn't true. But Man United grew its fan base in the UK ever before the Premier League started. There was a fan base based the Man United London Supporters Club in the 1950s had over 60,000 members. And there's a song our fans sing about it around football being taught by Matt Busby because we were playing a brand of football in that era that hadn't been seen in the UK before. And people would turn up to go, we've got to go and watch the way this Man United team play. And then kids and young people and kids all around the country were watching this brand of football that had never been seen. And they started supporting Man United. And then tragedy struck with the Munich air disaster, and that gave everybody that had already picked them and others an even deeper affinity with the football club because of the tragedy that surrounded it. And the late great Sir Michael Parkinson, who was a huge journalist and interviewer and TV personality in the UK, spoke. I remember listening to him talk about it, that he went to Old Trafford the first game after the Munich air disaster as a neutral, but he said the feeling he got on that day, he fell in love with the football club. And all these things are part of the tapestry of Man United. And, you know, obviously I wish that the Munich air disaster never happened, but at the same time, it's something that a certain generation of football fan all around the country, all around the world, it drew them to the club. And, you know, I hope nothing like that ever happens again to any football club ever. But yeah, there's so many elements to it. The idea of just, well, if you pick a good team, that means you're bad. I don't think that's an issue. It's changing teams. That for me is just something that shouldn't happen. Just before the end of the show, this year says I already got the grill on for Coventry versus Spurs. I'm looking forward to that tomorrow. Mbappe, not the player he was, regressing massively. Was he bad tonight?
He was fucking awful. They were all awful. Apart from if Thibaut Courtois wasn't there, we would have lost that game. Honestly, bunch of frauds. The fucking lot.
But Sam, surely you've got to give your team time to adapt to.
No, I'm not a patient lad.
Wait. No. Wait. You sure you've got to give your time to adapt to probably the hardest attack to balance now that you've got Mbappe? Because everyone said it.
No.
Everyone said it when he signed.
KJ, he changed the whole formation. He changed something that worked. Why are you changing something that was working? Why?
Because sometimes you have to take one step back to take two steps forward.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Madrid is the
No, you
pinnacle.
don't.
Why not?
No, you
Madrid
don't.
is the pinnacle. It's already set.
No, you don't.
Mbappe should not have gone to Madrid. I'll be honest.
Every single game we've played, every single game we've played,
Right,
we've been awful. He has changed something that was working last season, and he lives and he dies.
So, Sam, what do you say? Bun Mbappe off, get rid of him. Sorry.
No, bench one of the front three. Bring me back to diamond. And
who would you? So who would you bench?
Either Vinny or Rodrigo for now. But if Mbappe keeps going on like this, I wouldn't even mind benching him for some time. I wouldn't mind.
So, but which one would you pick? 'Cause you can't pick two. Who would you bench? Rodrigo.
Either him or Vinny. Doesn't really matter for me which one of them two.
Rich people
Benching
problems are so
Vinicius
funny.
Junior.
You would bench Vinicius Jr. out of the three.
Rich people problems.
No. Is your name Miguel or is your name Don? No, it's not. It's called.
No,
Hey,
I've
you're a
said- because
bench
I've said the
Vinicius
same thing.
Junior, Mbappe, or Rodrigo. Wow.
No, yeah, but
And I'm
here's the
sat
thing.
here talking about Chiesa with no legs.
But
mate,
mate, guess
Don't worry,
what?
End
Hassan,
the stream,
we're
man.
benching
End the
Anthony,
stream.
bro. We're
But
benching
the
Anthony. Don't
thing
worry.
is, that's not why I'm worried, because I've said it before. Minimum requirement this season has to be to bring back the double. For me, it should be a treble or a quad with this squad that we have. It has to be. But for me, no, it has to be. It has to be. That was my ambition.
Well,
from the start.
so I guess your ambition. So say he doesn't bring back the La Liga Champions League double, would you sack Ancelotti?
I would consider it. I'd consider it.
Wow.
Because you can't. Because the thing is, you can't bring in Kylian Mbappe. But the thing is, not just him. I'm gonna look at the board as well, because they're gonna have a massive whole lot of explanation to do as well. You don't replace Nacho, and you refuse to buy the center, which I was desperately needed, because now we've only got two. Otherwise, you have to play Chouameni there. Number 3, what's it called? What's the other lad? Costello, who literally won me the semi-final. You didn't replace him. So I've been very
I do
clear.
get you. Have you all seen the Harry Potter films?
Oh, here we go. Now you're your comparisons.
Hang on. Please let me land. Do you remember?
Gauss syndrome.
No, it's not Gauss syndrome. I don't remember which Harry Potter film it was. I want to say it was number 2 and number 3. You know, Harry Potter's got the fat little cousin, right? Who's a sport little brat. Right? He's got 2 bedrooms and everything. Do you remember when it was his birthday? And it was like, oh, we've got you 34 presents for your birthday. And he goes, but I got 35 last year. That reminds me of Madrid fans.
No. It's different.
My man is Veruca. My man's Veruca from flipping Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah.
But the difference is you're not used to it. Yeah, but you're not used to it. You're not used to how I'm speaking. That's the only thing.
Wait. Okay. See, here's my issue with Madrid fans. You know, this whole standards and mentality can only take you so far as a fan. Sometimes reality got to kick you in the ass. Sometimes you have to accept reality. Sometimes you have to view things in what's happening now. So you guys throwing tantrums. Oh, look at these guys. They got Mbappe and it's not working now. Like, literally, you will be upset with your son for not knowing how to count to 10 at 6 months old. That's what
Who said I want to have a child? Who said that?
No, I didn't say you wanted. I didn't say you wanted that.
Sam, can I ask you a question? Sam, can I ask you a question? Sam, can I ask you a question? What was wrong with Real Madrid standards between 1966 and 1998?
Let me guess. You're talking about when we didn't win the championship for about 30 years.
So again, it's not a trick question. I'm asking because obviously it's your club. What was wrong with your standards in that time period?
Sorry, I'll be real with you. I think I'd say a lot of things was wrong back then. I'd say the presidents that was like that was in charge of my club back then. I think we were good, like in our own country, winning the leagues, cups, and all that. I just think in Europe, we just the mentality for me was wrong. For me, the players that went out there wasn't really good enough in Europe. I think also there's the few times that we were close when we lost to, what was it, to Inter, and then we lost to Liverpool as well. I think it was 81, if I'm not even mistaken. I think also by that, having some bad luck and all that. But I just think the club just wasn't function well enough in European phases back then. Now, it's completely different. But we've made it's been very clear, like the Champions League is our bread and butter. And for me, that was a disaster back then. It was a disaster, even though I didn't live it. I've educated myself. My own history.
I understand that, and I'm just intrigued to know. You guys are massively successful. I understand having the standards.
By the way, just to let you know how I'm speaking like this. My first ever game, Madrid Valencia 2007. That was my first ever game.
No, and I get that. And look, and I understand the standards, and I'm not saying they're wrong. I just, again, I would need to know more about Real Madrid's history, because I think about it in the sense of I'm looking here, when you won your 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues.
We've done a 5-peat before.
Okay, but I'm making a point. Please let me finish. When you won it in 2016, the season prior to that, so 2014-15. I'm just looking here. You didn't win. Hang on, please.
Sorry,
didn't win the league.
Bad memories.
Okay, because I'm not. Again, this isn't. I want to explain this in the beginning. This isn't trying to catch anybody out. I'm trying to understand, right? And I know a lot of people in the YouTube will take questions as trying to catch people out.
My bad memory is Paul Konchesky. That's
so
great.
what. So what happened in the summer of 2015 that dramatically changed the club?
Wasn't just dramatically changed. I just think it's every time we actually go and win a league title or a Champions League. I think, not the Champions League mostly, but I think.
But you didn't win anything that year. So what? Yeah. Obviously, the likes of Ronaldo and a lot of those. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So a lot of the team, a lot of the core that won 3-peat, the most successful Champions League period in the modern day era for you. What changed dramatically in that summer based on the standards that the fans uphold that enabled that 3-peat when in that prior season you won nothing?
Well, you mean 2015, yeah?
Yeah, so in the summer of 2015, what dramatic changes happened through the standards that took you to a 3-peat level?
I think you're talking about the season after we won La Decima and then the season where we didn't win.
No, you won nothing. You won nothing in 2014-15, looking at your history here, right?
Yeah.
You then went on to do a 3-peat in the Champions League. I'm trying to understand what dramatic, because it's about patience. So that season didn't go well, okay? But you had the core group that did a 3-peat. What did you change in that summer based on your standards that enabled the 3-peat?
I think that summer, obviously after we didn't win anything, Di Maria had left and was a massive miss for us. And also that season how do I explain this in the right way? We bottled it a lot of times. We missed a lot of chances. We had the league in our hands, bottled it to them scumbags in Catalonia. And then against Juve in the semi-final, we missed so many chances and sloppy defensively and got knocked out of our own backyard. I think after that, basically the fans, Ancelotti was sacked straight after that, and the fans demanded more. And then basically we were signing players, like Jesse came in, multiple other stuff as well came in. I think Morata even came into a part view, which also helped a lot. Even James Rodriguez was stepping up a bit more, and obviously CR7 being there helped that. But I think we started to become more and more clinical, and that helped out a lot as well. And also, I would say in the Champions League, we started to focus a bit more extra on it and sort of, how to say it in the right way, like sacrificing the league.
Would you say these fans caused you guys to win that? Because here's the one thing that I've got against the whole.
Well, in a way, I would, because we sacked Benitez, then got Zizou in, and he won us a 3-peat, because we were kicking up after the 4-0 loss that we had against Barca in the El Clasico. That was disgusting, absolutely disgusting. The way everything went through.
And do you know what? I think Zidane you actually went to Rafa Benitez first, and that.
But Terry, let me just make this clear before. Can I just make it clear? The issue is when people keep saying, "Why do you keep proceeding by this?" It's been working. It's been working.
But that isn't the point of the conversation. I'm just trying to understand it from your point of view and perspective. And I think that there are elements, and this is where I think this whole standard FC thing falls down, is that you're not wrong about standard FC. You're not wrong about everything. Some of the standards are absolutely right. The problem is that if you think about the impatience that kind of you alluded to or implied about the Mbappe thing, you could probably go back through times before that three-peat with particular players. It could have been, does Ronaldo work with Benzema? You know, if you actually go back to, again, if you go by patience and no patience, I swear that Luka Modric was voted the worst signing in the league after his first season. So this is where an element of patience needs to come in, because if Standard FC based on today's level got their way, Modric would have been shipped out year one because he was shit. And then you wouldn't have had the past decade of one of the best midfielders in the league of history. And that is where I
never said ship him out. I never said that.
But you are not listening. You're taking it personally as opposed to Standard FC.
No, let me just explain how it means.
No.
Oh, sorry,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm stating that's why Standard FC, I think their standards are right, but I think a lot of them online over egg and sort of pretend to have no patience, because I think it does very, very well on the algorithm.
No, it's not even just that.
In reality, there has. But I've got to win the show. But I get your point where you're coming from. Look, there's a few super chats here. First one says it's the luckiest team in the world. Real Madrid got outplayed by so many teams in the last 3 years or more. They have star power, though.
Hey, if you've got the mentality, you can get through these things, man. It's about winning at the end of the day.
Well, and the players. You got to have the players as well.
Yeah, but also the mentality. If the mentality is wrong, it doesn't matter who you have.
This is true, but
Barnsley had the mentality to beat us today. And...
Oh, give it up! Give it up.
That's the mentality. Bro, they get the win. That's mentality, bro.
I like it.
Let it go,
I want to
KJ.
thank everyone that's tuned in. This video is going to take you through to Hassam and Mo's channel, so go across and support that now, everybody. Make sure you hit the like button before you leave. We're back tomorrow with Straight Facts with Hassam and Mo, which I'm very much looking forward to. Until next time, take care, goodbye, God bless, and we'll see you all again soon. Peace.